Hi, it's Jenny trying this again. You might hear Nathan whining in the background. He is still the terrible twos, but in a few days going to be 3, and I read somewhere that it could last up until they're 4, and you know, he whines and fusses about every little thing, so I am having to restart again. I've been working on making art I makes, I guess you would call them. Charms, and then I have this one where I've glued several layers of metals and book plates together, and then here is kind of the same version, just in a different color with a different box. Then I've been doing a lot of crocheting. This was actually a stone river rock, I think they call it. I took a couple from my mom's flower bed and crocheted around it, and then did a flower. Then I have a couple lavender little flowers, and then matching lavender flower to go with it. I like to do sets of stuff in 3s. I'm kind of OCD about that. Let's see, what else? Oh, this is a sash that I crocheted, and it smells like rose. That, and then this is my first try. This ties in a bow, but this is a needle book in the back. I took 2 pieces of material and then just kind of freehand sewed to quilt it, and then it's just got some felt pages with needles and safety pins in it, and then another crocheted flower. So it ties in a bow like this. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I really haven't altered. When I started out doing YouTube and started out with videos and stuff, my thing is I used to do tags from Velma's Tag Swap. And so I've never really altered anything else. So this is my first balsa box that I altered, and I forget who I seen this from. I will look and try to put their link below in the description, where they painted the balsa box and then they Mod Podged you know, like craft lace onto the box. So I did that, and then I crocheted the doily, and then I did the lily flower. So I crocheted 4 lavender doilies like this. I call it the lily doily because I purchased some off of her. My very first order that I ever purchased with her, and I didn't purchase enough, so I took it and I made my own.
Mom, I got butter on me now.
Okay, I'll take care of it in a minute. So I took and made my own version of it. This is the one I purchased. This is the one that I made. So they look very similar. So then I used some scraps that I've purchased off of Etsy or Zibbit. I can't remember which place I got it. And then some pearl trim, and then I put each one of them in the center, and then I crocheted the little purple flowers. And then I put new elastic on there, and then used one of the Tim Holtz knobs, and then it's just got some crocheted flowers and stuff in it. And then I used, I went thrift shopping and I found this big necklace that had these great gigantic purple beads on it. And so I used the smaller ones that was a size of 4 I like to make the little legs for the box. So there's my little balsa box. Oh, and then this is a button from Hobby Lobby, and then eyelash trim. Bag of pearls from where I broke the necklace apart. I'm doing video, Nathan. Go in the room, please. Okay. I've been on a doily kick. I'm making stock. I have whites, ecru's, purple, greens right here on hand, but I have 2 different colors of pinks that I've been working on. And then I made a altered composition book. Let me see if I can span this out a little bit. So it's just a composition notebook, and then I just used made some flowers and leaves and used some digital images. I love digital images. And this holds a tag, and this holds another tag with a garment pin with a lot of little tags. And then, you know, it's got torn edges with lace under and old doilies. And then here's a charm that I put together from those fragments, and it says friends forever, then altered, and then I used the die for the hinges, and then this is just the back. And then I put a ribbon on it, and then on the inside, the front, the back has like a library pocket and like a library card for checking out. The pages are just blank, and here's like a little file folder, and inside the file folder has a spot to journal, and then a clip, and then here's a couple of tags, and then it's got a paper bag in it, and inside the paper bag is a few more tags. And then I embossed an envelope, and I thought in the envelope would be a good place for journaling, so I stamped, and I thought you could put like an entry, like circle the month and the date. So I did a few different varies to that on cardstock. Then I did like a always remember, and then I did like a today, a few of the todays, and then I did one here that is date and event, and it has a spot, you know, a couple of spots for writing, and then you can journal a spot. So I thought those would be cute little ways to, you know, make it a little bit more mixed, and instead of just writing the date, or a little note down if you want to add a photograph. So that's my first and only composition book. I enjoyed altering that, so I'll probably do you know, some more of these. Okay, let's see what else. Let me, I had a box here of stuff that I wanted to show. Put those back. Then I've been working on paper bags because I'm in a few swaps, and I had quit scrapping for about 7-8 months. And I watched Lili Laneka, one of the videos of I think it was Craft Angel Online, where she had decorated some pages. They had been in a swap, and it inspired me to want to do crafting again. And so, you know, I decorated the bags like others do, and you put so much time and stuff in it that I wanted them to be able to be recyclable, so they could be reused. So I made it to where they didn't have to be ripped open, and you know, it could be re-given to another person or kept, or I mean, whatever you want to do with it. So this is my first bag, and I just tea dyed some doilies and then punched out, and I crocheted some flowers, and then I watched the tutorial of oh, I'm gonna have to think of her name, it escapes me. It's Anne, I believe. She does the newsprint and the roses, so I watched her tutorial and I made a few of those. And so I made all the flowers on here myself. Then I added some tea-dyed eyelet and some ribbon, and then this is an image cut out from the Graphic 45 Domestic Goddess, I think it was called. Then I just add little wire and feathers, and then I had done some cheesecloth, and then I'd done some texturing paste. And here's a metal butterfly that came from Lily's Shabbylicious Etsy store. And then I took a little tiny clothespin, added some beads, flat back pearls to it, and then crocheted flowers, and then the back. And then the topper is all connected together, and that way it can open freely and just be removed, and so, you know, the bag is free to be able to put something in. So I kind of enjoyed putting together gift bags, so I have intentions to do some more of those. So I have that one. And then one of Lily's bags, I seen she had made a cuff or something that she had intended on, I think, wearing, and then it didn't work out. So she used it as a tie for the flap of the paper bag that was folded over. So I really liked that idea. So I done that, and so I did like some people have done. I used the flap of the paper bag, and I folded it up and then glued the sides, and then the bag unties like this, and then as you can see, you can open it without having to destroy it. And then I added a tag that I had tea dyed. I have intentions of putting some crocheted flowers like that on the front, but I hadn't made more. And then you know, you can write who it's from, and then a little message. And then these are some doilies that I purchased, and I did the lily flower, and then I think her name is Linda, the Faith chick, I believe, and I had taken her tutorial where she took paint and sand, and then I did that to all of the things. This was actually a metal piece that was round that I had gotten from Lily's Shabbylicious store, and then I had crocheted a flower, added some seam binding, and this was one of the pieces of an Arctic cake charm. But now that I've looked at it, that would be very simple to make for art I makes for swaps. Then just an image that I've purchased at some point, and some book paper, and then some leaves I've cut out, and then some paper punches of a butterfly, and some buttons, and some different kinds of trim. So there is that bag. And then I've been crocheting so much, I get these things in my mind. I sit with my laptop on my lap and watch YouTube tutorials and videos and crochet while the kids watch their Disney and Nickelodeon. And every once in a while I go through a spurt where I feel like I need a break from crocheting something, so I decide something and I come out and I work on making it to give my hands a break and just to have something different. So last night I came out here after everybody had went to bed and I decided that I wanted to make a box. So I took some lightweight chipboard, and then I couldn't remember on the scoreboard if to make the bottom and top just a tad bit bigger for the top to fit on, whether you first moved it all the way over to the edge or moved it into the very first notch. So when I did my first box, I did it the opposite of how it was supposed to, but I didn't throw them away because it's good when you're gathering up stuff for your projects. Or I used them to put my seam binding in that I was dyeing, and used it to spray and dry. So they came in pretty handy as something like that. So this is the box that I made. It's just, you know, I didn't cover the bottom and I just covered the sides. I still have glue strings everywhere I haven't picked yet. And then I just lined it with some pearl trim, nothing overly fancy. And then for the lid, I didn't cover the side. It's only an inch, and I just ran the ruffled trim I got at Hobby Lobby and some of the pearls I got at Hobby Lobby when they had the half price sale for the spools. I see a big glue string. Then I used the doily Lily method again for some doilies I think I purchased from the brown bag lady, or the paper bag lady. I can't remember what her name is. I'll have to look. Some seam binding that I dyed, some leaves I believe that I bought off of Gisela Lavish Laces, and then I made these flowers out of chiffon, and I just put a little bit of the eyelash fiber and some little bitty pieces of crocheted and a little button from Hobby Lobby and some beaded spray. Then I just took a tutorial that Lovely Scrapping had done, where I've been dyeing some book pages. I run them through this primitive sludge mixture that I've made that is coffee and tea, and it's got cinnamon and vanilla and spices in it. And you know, if I could open this bag, you would be able to smell the cinnamon and the vanilla. And so she had taken a bowl and placed on and traced around it, and then, you know, did the cutting method around to make the spiral to roll the rows. So that's what I had done here, and then I just added a pearl to the center. And then here is a crocheted flower that I had done. Just added one of the lily doilies and button center. And then I took a die that I had got at my local scrapbooking store, and it blends in with the paper, so it's kind of hard to see. And I strung a piece of lace. Let me see if I can get it down a little bit better. I strung a piece of lace, and then I did the banner, and then I put little pieces of laces on the banner itself. And then I put a few charms on there, and then I took little mini clothespins to make it look like the banner was hanging on the lace. And then I took these little clay flowers, I believe they are. I got them from Lily's store, and these flowers are awesome for little projects like, let's see, I've really had to branch out lately because I've joined a couple of swaps. So let's see, Lily's flowers are good for things like this. Like these are art tiles I've been practicing, and this is another one of her little doodad flowers and some half-back pearls, and then it was just, you know, the piece of wood I painted. So those are really nice to have on hand to add here and there, and it just, you know, makes a whole bit of difference of having a little bit of something. Then they're so cute because they have this little tiny shimmer of the bling that catches the light. Then I just put the pearl trim around, so it's kind of the box is 8 by 8. So I put the box together last night, and then I knew I wanted to add a few flowers to it, but I was trying to make it to where things was not even. So, you know, I've got 3, like the triangle is, I took a painting lesson years ago at Michael's, and my teacher was always, you know, like if you're going to have something in a vase of painting flowers and different things, it's more appealing for the eye if it's in an odd number. And so that's why you always see 3s or like the 1. So I have that space like that for, there's actually 7. So it's kind of like your attention here, but then it's drawn upwards because the banner and then the flower up at the top. So that is that is another project that I just got done completing and doing. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back soon with some more projects. Bye.